Welcome to another DorkLair collecting video. Today, I'm going to share a few of my recent pickups, and mostly this video is because I just got the Pink Skulls Chaos Club. I got one Hooligan from that set, thanks to my co-host from the DorkLair collecting podcast, Chris Marino. Appreciate it very much. He actually went to DCon and DesignerCon, and he picked up a set, and he decided to part it out, and he was kind enough to offer me one of the figures with the accessories. And so a set that I passed on, I just really didn't want to spend that much on three of the same figure. So I feel very fortunate to have been able to get one of these, and I appreciate it very much, Chris. So I'm going to kind of like run through that figure a little bit, maybe like a mini review of that one, and just kind of share some of my other recent pickups. I've got some 3 3/4 Star Wars here, and then I've got the Luke that I just recently did a review on retrozap.com, and this cool 6-scale Scavengers t-shirt. So I met up with Chris and Brian, and you might remember Brian if you're a longtime DorkLair listener, former co-host of the DorkLair. They have their podcast, 6-scale Scavengers, their whole community, really. And they had their little kind of like press kind of giveaway kit at the what was it, Super Mega Fest in Framingham, Mass. And they have their own 6th scale t-shirt. Now I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to find a figure to put this on, because I really want to get it on a figure. So maybe if I can pick up, I don't know, like a blank body or something that's on a bit of a slimmer kind of body, it might work out. But I definitely want to see if I can get this onto a figure. I love it. If not, it'll just kind of like hang in my collection as just like a display piece. But that is an ingenious sort of business card type, calling card type thing that those guys had. So big shout out to the 6-scale Scavengers. Check those guys out. Their podcast is incredible. Tons of hot toys, Marvel and Star Wars stuff. So pretty cool little 6-scale t-shirt right there. Okay, so next up, another shout out right here, really. I was trying to find a good Vader. Like, I have a couple Vaders, but I don't have just like an iconic looking, awesome looking Vader. And I'm going to move my light around so we can get a better light on this guy. But I posted on Twitter that I was looking for a 3 3/4 Vader, like a really good looking one. And Victoria from Victoria's Cantina, so another YouTube channel / podcast / apparel entrepreneur / a lot of things. Like, just a really great creator out there, Victoria's Cantina. I'm sure a lot of you already know who she is. Anyway, so she kind of commented that this was her favorite. This is like the Force Link 2, I think, Vader. So it's just like a 5 POA style figure, but it does look pretty awesome. It's really like nice and tall and big. Let me get it standing up right here. So you can see like a Stormtrooper like right beside it. And yeah, pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy with that Vader. It's only got one pose really, but just kind of like standing there flanked by some Stormtroopers. He looks pretty awesome. And then speaking of the Stormtroopers, so finally the Rogue One vintage collection Stormtroopers kind of went back in stock, and they're sort of out there very readily now. Hopefully they'll go on some clearance and people can army build a little bit soon. But yeah, I finally picked up a couple of these. This is a pretty sweet looking figure. It's got awesome articulation, and that head sculpt is pretty much perfect in my opinion. I do love, just in general, I love all the Rogue One troopers. I love what they did with the helmet. It just kind of like puts it all together, and I think the design of the helmets in Rogue One just really captures everything that you could want about a Stormtrooper helmet. So I do love the design of their helmets. All right, so moving on, my last 3 3/4 figure that I picked up recently is the Yavin Luke, and you can get a good look at him. He looks great. He's awesome. I mean, he is actually kind of up there with the 6-inch Yavin Luke in terms of how good they look. In some ways, I actually think this likeness is better, and I think like in the shape of the face, maybe there's something about this one that's slightly better, but then the other one generally is just an awesome head sculpt, and I don't know if it's like the face printing on the other one or whatever. it looks really good. But yeah, so you can kind of see here that there is a little bit of jacket that's, I haven't removed it, but I'm sure that can come off. It's over the top. Very similar to the other ones, if you saw my review on the other one. But there's no lightsaber blade with it, but it does come with a lightsaber, even though it doesn't have it in that scene. And then, of course, this one has the metal. But pretty good little figure right here. I think this was a Walmart exclusive, this Yavin Luke. And then just a plug for my recent review. And if you saw my review on YouTube of this, it's just a partial review. The full review really is on RetroZap. I wrote up an entire review, and this is that same Luke. It's incredible likeness. It's got a few little things, like the accessories are a little flimsy, and the articulation's a little weird in points. But generally speaking, just on the shelf, this thing is an awesome looking figure. All right, and finally, it is the Pink Skull Chaos Club Gomez verse figure, and this thing is sick. I love it so much. I'm really just very thrilled with what Mezco has been doing with their sort of Gomez verse. Let me get it out of this pose that I'm sure everybody saw it in on my Instagram channel. But yeah, so basically this is a Street Gomez shirt. It's the Gomez body with the Street Gomez t-shirt and then the pants and the chucks, and then it's got this other jacket that kind of gives it this satin jacket, almost like an 80s hardcore kind of vibe to it right there. It does have a zipper that zips up. It's got a metal chain, so you can hear it on the glass. Like, that's a metal chain. That's pretty badass. It's almost like a piece of jewelry, but it hangs nicely, a nice big chain. And then it's got this new skull head sculpt in addition to the original. I believe it's the same sculpt as the original skulls that they've been doing, but this new skull just creates this whole new character. Basically, the skulls, the pink skulls, are the like after effects of Gomez shifting through his teleportation or what have you, his like galactic travel, and the residue of his whatever essence or something like that. I don't know the story completely, but anyway, the residue forms these like new skulls guys, and then this is like a crew of them that broke off and like became their own people, and they're the Chaos Club, the Pink Skulls Chaos Club. One cool thing is that the back of the neck actually has like a little kind of vein of pink going up to the head, so that's pretty neat there. I do think that the head sits a little bit high on the neck. It doesn't look too bad when you have the jacket on because it kind of fills in that space in between, but as you can see here, it's a little bit long-necked, and I think it's because it's the same basic neck and everything as the Gomez figures. So let me get a Gomez head and show you what that looks like on there. Yeah, so once you get a Gomez head on there, it makes more sense as to why that neck is so long. It just seems a little more appropriate. Kind of fits in there, deeper hole, and just kind of comes down a little further on that neck. Same thing with the skull. I mean, with the original skull, it just seems to have a deeper set socket, so it kind of comes down more. But this skull is very oversized, almost like a guy with a mask on. And then coming back to this one, you can see it definitely sits up there pretty high, but not a big deal, because like if you just move his head down a little bit, you don't even notice. And just look at that head sculpt. It's just wild. I love it. It's like, I don't even know, it's like melting a little bit. Really cool stuff. And then of course you got the satin jacket with the lining, and you got the Street Gomez pants and sneakers, and just the incredible articulation. You can see his arms, like just everything is just so smooth, and he can crunch forward a ton and kick his legs all the way up. So like just an absolute ton of articulation on this guy. And awesome figure. Let me just run through the accessories and we'll finish up. All right, so accessories. All right, so first up, he comes with this hat. I think people have suggested maybe it's the Popeye hat, but it's definitely a larger size, so it would be scaled up if it is indeed. But nice weathering on the hat. Here's the other skull. A little close-up of that. Looks pretty good. Chain, again, kind of showed that already. He comes with basically all the same hands as the other Gomez figures. He's got a katana that's painted really nicely. It's got like the ropes around the sheath and then pink blade, which is really cool to kind of go with the theme. So that's nice. And he's got a baseball bat that almost looks like it's made out of glass or something, which is kind of crazy. Skull Crusher. He's got a messenger bag, which kind of makes me want to get like a bike or something. I feel like this guy would be riding a bike, maybe like a BMX. And then he's got a pair of handcuffs. He's got a wrench, monkey wrench. And then he's got a switchblade right here. I'm going to hold it by the tip just so you can see the handle. So there's the switchblade. Pretty sweet. And he's got a watch. I should have it on him right now, but I don't. But there's a little watch right there. Almost reminds me of like a Swatch from the 80s. And then he's got a Molotov cocktail. So the 3-pack comes with 3 Molotov cocktails. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It comes with 2. 1 flaming and 1 unlit. So Chris was nice enough to include the one of them with it. So the unlit one I have. And then I'm trying to think of what else there was only 2 of. Like there was something else, maybe this wrench, or there was something else that there was only 2 of that came with it. But there's so many things that it comes with that I don't really mind if there's something missing or whatever. But yeah, and then it comes with a stand right here. So pretty cool looking stuff right there. And they were stamping this on their boxes like about a month before they shipped out this figure. Before they even announced this figure, actually. They were stamping this on their boxes that they were shipping out, or I think it was like a sticker that they were putting on there. Like I think my Wonder Woman had this sticker and it was just like a mystery. And I was like, is this connected to like the Hong Kong stuff? Like what's going on? And so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the stuff that comes with him. But it's an incredible figure. It's really good. And I'm really pumped that I was able to get one, even though I didn't end up ordering the set. Because I just couldn't there's just a lot of stuff going down in terms of like pre-orders, things dropping, just all at the same time in that sort of October, November range. So just super happy to be able to get a single one of these. And just look at that head. That's incredible. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Until next time, may the Force be with you.